Good day, everyone. We're going to be looking at a very important subject matter today, but don't forget, we are on MSME Clinic. MSME Clinic is a forum where we look at those topical issues that borders micro, small, medium enterprises and being able to see how we can profile solution to them. So let me welcome you today to today's session on MSME Clinic. The last production, we looked at risk management and the different types of risks that are peculiar to various enterprises, especially agricultural enterprises. But today, we're going to be looking at risk management for some particular enterprises. Number one, you have enterprise like maize production. You have enterprise like fish farming, poultry production, talking about broiler and layer production, and of course plantain. But let us quickly go back again to refresh our mind to say that risk management in agriculture refers to the process of identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks that can affect agricultural operations. So you need to identify, you need to assess, you need to prioritize, then you need to mitigate. Every enterprise carries his or her own risk. And what we encourage entrepreneurs is for you to always sit down, first of all, to identify the risks that are peculiar to you and see how you can mitigate those risks. So, by way of definition, we have said that risk management in agriculture refers to the process of identifying, assessing, prioritizing, and mitigating risks that can affect agricultural operations. And what are those four enterprises that we are zeroing into? We are zeroing into maize production, fish farming, poultry production, talking about broiler and layers. Then we talk about plantain production. Okay? What risk are we looking at? The risk of theft. Okay? The risk of theft is a big risk that affects this enterprise, and it goes on without even you noticing that this risk is actually going on. Take, for example, maize production. At maturity, somebody takes a bag by 12 midnight, walks into your farm, and pluck your hard-earned maize. That will bring you a big loss. Okay? So, the same thing happens to fish production. You have 1 million fish inside water. Okay? The security man that you engage to look after the farm is the one that is picking the fish. Just imagine that you have fish right inside water. Okay? And 1 million number of them. And somebody comes to pick about 20. There is no way you will know. Because fish has a peculiar nature of mortality. Okay? So, the same thing with poultry. Okay? Your birds get sick and it dies, and you tell them, go and bury that chicken. So, the staff picks up a habit from there. To say, okay, anytime a chicken die at maturity, Oga will say, I should go and bury it. So, deliberately, that staff will go and strangulate the chicken and tell you that the chicken is dead. And you say, go and bury the chicken. And what will the staff do? He will take it home to go and, fry for his neighbors, him and his neighbors. The same thing with egg production. Egg production, you cannot easily estimate how many eggs that is being produced in the farm. So, somebody picks 10 crates and he takes home 5 eggs on a daily basis. How will you know? Okay? Then we go to plantain production. Okay? Plantain at maturity, somebody goes in, just like the maize farm, goes in to go and harvest your plantain. So you can see that some enterprises have some peculiar risks that we need to deal with. And that's why I'm taking you up on this subject matter today, that these risks do exist and how do we deal with the risks. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So mitigating the risk of theft in enterprise, just as we have mentioned. And I have about 7 of those mitigants that you can easily deploy for you to be home and dry, that you get your output the way you have planned it. Number 1 is that you need to have CCTV cameras right in the middle of your farm. Thank God for solar technology. Okay? So these days, you can have solar-powered CCTV cameras. you can have very sensitive cameras that you can deploy into your farm. Okay? And these days you can even have cameras that are not very visible for you to monitor what is happening in your farm. So I want to urge you as a farmer, try to put in place a CCTV with good cameras. Then you can also have what is called an alarm system. Okay? An alarm surveillance system tied to your phone, tied to your wristwatch, so that if there are shadow movements in an unexpected time of the day, it triggers alarm on your phone. It triggers alarm on your wristwatch. Then you can now watch out for what is happening. So these are technology-enabled mitigations that you can put in place. CCTV cameras with alarm system. Then, of course, you can have what is called regular patrol around your farm area. Okay? You can just get up from the office, the farm office, and just make some visitations around sometimes. Okay? Then, of course, you need to, just the way you have an office and you have security men, you should have an appropriate security measure put in place to be able to checkmate what is happening in your farm. So we've talked about CCTV cameras, we've talked about alert system, we've talked about regular patrol, then you need to have security personnel. So the fifth one is talking about inventory control. If you do your farm in a scientific way, you have a situation where you are doing rice production, for example. If you put in a certain amount of input, you will know what output to get at the end of the day. And that's why business plan is very important for every farm operation. Okay? For a maize production, we know that averagely you have 3.5 metric tons per hectare. So make sure that before you start your enterprise, you measure it out and you have what is called inventory control. You know what you are feeding in and you know what you are expecting. Okay? And if you don't get what you are expecting, then you have the right to find out what will have happened at the end of the day. Then, of course, you need to engage with the community. Somebody says that if you drive your car to a particular location, okay, and you park your car, make sure that you greet the people around. Just say hi to them, hi to them. Don't make that mistake of parking your car and not saying hi to the people and walking away. If you say hi to them, if an intruder comes to try to boggle your car, they will know that this was not the man that greeted us. Okay? So you must engage with the community so that if strange people come into your farm, then they will be able to know that these are not the regular people. Okay? Then, of course, you need to have what is called insurance. In risk mitigation, there are some risks that you have control over. And that's why we're asking you, you can get a CCTV, you can get an alarm system, you can do regular control, you can employ security personnel, but you can have some risks that is beyond your control. What do? You, in that case, try to get an insurance. So what you're trying to do indirectly is to transfer that risk to a third party and pay a premium. And at the end of the day, they will take care in case incidents like this happen. Okay? So as a way of summarizing, we indeed looked at the risk of theft, and we looked at maize production, its peculiarity to maize production, fish farming, poultry production, talking about broiler and layers, and we talk about plantain farming. And we're saying, look, engage CCTV, engage alarm system or alert system, then do regular patrol, make sure you have security personnel to check, then do inventory control. Then, of course, you must engage with the community, and at the end of the day, you have an insurance. So with this, I believe that if you implement all this, your farm will be much more secure, and indeed your enterprise. So in the next session, we are also going to be looking at a very important risk called the key man risk. So hold on as we end this session for the key man risk. Thank you.